Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is Tyra Olufemi, your Goddess Guru, here to bring you a word of inspiration to assist you on your path towards self-realization, which is why we're here. And so I just encourage you to not believe that you know all of who you are, that there's so much more for you to learn about yourself. Just go for it. Step outside of your comfort zone and learn more about who and what you are by taking some chances in your life and on your behalf. And also to assist you on your way to self-mastery. So it's so many lessons for us to learn in life. That's what makes life interesting. And there are aspects to ourselves that we don't know anything. We haven't tapped into all of our talents, to all of the power within us. And so it is always something that we can do to improve ourselves and master different parts of ourselves. So that's why I do what I do. And so this week, first of all, I want to thank everyone who watches the videos. And I appreciate that so much. And please feel free to share the videos. But I really did just want to say thank you. Okay, so this week the energy surrounding the Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community is Tahuti, Hetep. And so this is the same reading from last week. I was just like, wow, it's a lot of Tahuti energy going on right now. And so I decided today, what Tahuti is all about is wisdom. You have to allow yourself to be guided by wisdom. The wisdom of the universe is within us. And so we are created out of God energy. That may be one way of describing it. But there's this infinite wise wisdom of the universe. And it's consciousness, it's beingness. And people call this energy God, Goddess. I mean, there's so many names that we can call this. You know, all the different religions have a name. And we extend out from that energy, that consciousness. All is one. All is one. And so everything is a emanation of the one. I often wonder, what do people think we're really made of? For those of us that subscribe to that there is a higher being, what are we made out of? Okay, we could say pixie dust, but it's really, we're made, I mean, God, we're from, it's like God is the fabric. The goddess is the fabric, and we are cut from that fabric, and not even cut, but we're shaped from it. It's something that I just, it's like so fundamental to me. And so another way that is commonly described is, imagine that, well, you know, the ocean. See the ocean in your mind. If you scoop up out of the ocean some water in a cup, does that water cease being the ocean? No. It has all the qualities of the ocean still in it, of water still in it, but it's now in a container. If you pour it back into the ocean, it becomes again one with the ocean. That's basically how we can view ourselves. We're in this body, and this body makes us think that we're not a part of the all one presence, consciousness of which that we are a part. But we still are. And so, you know, there's no break. That's why we meditate. That's why we spend time trying to expand ourselves. That's what Tahuti says. You have to expand yourself beyond what you presently know about yourself. And the more you do that, you get to a point where there's no differentiation between you and God, you and Goddess. In the Bible, Jesus says, me and my Father are one. Okay, that's all of us. Okay, we're all one with the great divine presence. So because of that, I love saying this. I heard An old Baptist preacher say one time, you know, the power, if all we ever talked about was the omnipresence, the omniscience, and the omnipotence of God, that would be enough just to give major breakthroughs in people's lives. Because the great divine is ever present, all knowing and all powerful. And so because we are cut from that energy, we extend out from that energy, we have the presence of the divine within us all the time. We have the omniscience of the divine with us at all times. And we have the omnipotence of the divine within us at all times. We just don't believe it. We don't know it. We, for whatever reason, we don't live that truth, but it doesn't make it not true. And so, when we talk wisdom, Tahuti, Orunmila, Raziel, it's different names that different spiritual systems use. When we talk omniscience or wisdom, that is the omniscience that we're talking about, the knowingness. There is a wisdom faculty within each and every one of us. Do not ever believe you can't access the wisdom of God. Many of us, we're not born, some of us are born with a natural knack for it, and some of us are not born with a natural knack for being wise. For some people, it's a gift because, you know, it's obvious. Some people won't know what to do. They'll need some help. And that's what the wisdom, the wise people, the wisdom keepers are for. But even the wisdom keepers have to study. They have to meditate. They have to get quiet. They have to connect in their own way to the greater wisdom of the universe. So some people are born, they just have this natural, wise way. You can go to them and you can talk to them. But a lot of people, they have to do a little extra work to get that wisdom faculty within them open. So that's the one thing I want to say today, is that you have the ability to be a wise one for you. You don't have to be wise for everyone, but the wisdom of the divine is in you. So right now, this is the time for us to seek the wisdom within. Now, my thing is this. I don't do, I look for knowingness. So if someone tells me this is the truth, as in a higher divine truth, I am a scientist, and that's what you're being called to do. Be a scientist. Don't take what I say and just say, oh yeah, she gives some good stuff, and you know, I've heard her before, and you know, yeah, she's good. No, take what I say and see if it works. Take what anyone says. If you study a wisdom text, when I say a wisdom text, it could be one of the ancient wisdom texts. Just think of your religion. If you have a religion that you subscribe to, or one that you have sort of leaned towards, think of those books. It could be a wise text from a guru. So for instance, your religious leader, your spiritual leader, however you want to look at it, that person may have written some books, may have written some works. You want to read wisdom from people who have, that's their gift. They share wisdom. And apply it in your life. You want to be a spiritual scientist. Do what it says do. I mean, I get so frustrated that people will say they have a particular religious faith and they don't live it. Because you know what? My stance is this: many paths, one truth. Okay? So it's so many different religions out there. You can't even keep up with them anymore. It's just so many, and it's divisions within greater religions, whatever. But I just see so many people say they got a religion and they don't live it. I don't care what your religion is. I say, if you study your wisdom text and you meditate on it, and you implement that wisdom from your book in your life, you will get results. Don't be hypocritical this week, okay, or ever. Don't say you have a religion and disrespect your religion by not living it. Wisdom is you know and you live, okay? And so that's why I say this is the time to be a spiritual scientist. And the more you study and focus on it, what will happen is that wisdom begins to set inside of you, and it's just like seeds getting planted within you, and then it starts to grow within you to the point where that wisdom is who and what you are. And I have found a little bit of wisdom, it makes a big difference. You don't have to be some really smart, educated person to really be able to use wisdom in a way where people are looking at your life saying, wow. Okay? So, yes. Let's see here. What else I want to tell you? Okay, so this week, what I would like to share with you, besides this is a time for you to be tapping to the wisdom of the universe, tapping to the wisdom within you, is that within each one of us is a part of ourselves that is sort of like the overseer of our life. And this part of ourselves watches what is going on with this part. Because this part right here, I call the ego self. Necessary, it's a beautiful part, but we get tricked into thinking I'm just this skin and this personality. Well, all of this is going to go away, eventually. We can't be led by this, okay? What we have to understand is that our body is a tool for us to have a physical experience. Our personality, we have to have a personality while we're here. We have to be a human being while we're here. But we get tricked into believing this is who what we are when there are so many more levels and aspects to ourselves. And so the part of ourselves, we'll say the higher self, I call it the Ori. That part of ourselves is seeking to assist us. It is that part of us that is tuned into the omnipresence, the omniscience, and the omnipotence of the great divine within us. That is within us. And so oftentimes you can look at this part of yourself as a mouse. But in the Hindu tradition, there's the elephant head god Ganesha. And I remember once reading that Ganesha rides the mouse. Ganesha rides the mouse. And Ganesha is the all-knowingness part. Most of us don't take any time to get to know that part of ourselves, the Ganesha within. Most of us just don't take time to get to know that part of ourselves. We're just focused on the little mouse part instead of the part within us that is greater. And like I said, from E5, that would be Ori. Then the Christian tradition, that would be the Holy Spirit as I see it. And let's see here. Within the spiritual system out of Kemet, that would be Orser, or that's Egypt is Kemet. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I throw names out there just to kind of help people, get what I'm talking about. But it doesn't matter what it's called. It's there. And so why listen to the mouse when you can listen to the elephant, the big elephant within? We always talk about the big pink elephant in the room, folks ignoring them. That's what folks are doing to the wisdom within them. Just ignoring it. It's not even there. I don't see it. I don't hear it. We got to stop that, okay? Elephants have those big ears. Open your ears and listen, because there's a lot within you that will help you stop having all these problems. We want to cry, cry, cry. Why is my life not the way I want to? Why am I not happy? Why can't I find the love that I want? Why does my career suck? Why do you think? Because you're not listening, okay? So put on your big elephant ears and listen. Not only do you listen, that's a big major first step though. Listen. Gotta get quiet. Listen, and then do what? Do it. Now, one thing I will say about mice is they're busy, all right? But we want to be busy doing what we want to work towards our guide, our destiny. We want to follow the guidance that's taking us to where we need to go. And I can talk about people because I'm very guilty of being busy as a mouse but getting nothing done, okay? So I'm not sitting here up on a high pedestal. I'm working through my get over being the mouse and be the elephant too. I also went to, so just you have to start understanding how do you hear. Maybe you can see. We have spiritual vision. How do you see the wisdom? Get into nature. That is one of the best ways to learn about or to tap the wisdom within. Nature has an energy, and the more we're in nature, the more we become attuned to really the wisdom of the divine, the energy of the divine, the more we get centered within ourselves. So it's some work to do, and it's ever present. You just keep doing it until, you start seeing results, and you then can be better guided about what to do. You'll find that you did one thing trying to fix one problem, and it created another problem in your life. You want to avoid that. And so you have to take steps to nurture and develop your ability to understand clear guidance from within you. I will say, if you have any medical issues, if you have legal issues, if you have career issues, this is a time to go and seek professional help. I'm in the United States of America, and we are know-it-alls very often. Oh, I don't need to know so-and-so. We want to Google. We want to just be, so wise and smart about everything when maybe sometimes you should go and get some help. So, which leads me into the Mayan Oracle reading that I got today, which is Men. Men says you need to have hope. And sometimes we don't tap the power within us because we have no hope. It's like nothing's going to change. We see the world, we get down, we get depressed. So you have to have hope. Hope is something that will keep you moving when things are looking rough. When it looks like I'm going to lose. Hope will make you say, I just really have a vision. That's the other thing man says. You have to have a vision this week. Tahuti is all about vision and then using wisdom to achieve your vision. And it's all about expansion. In order for you to go toward your vision, you've got to expand yourself. And so this week is all about having vision. When you have vision, hope will keep you working towards that vision. If you do not have a vision for your life, then it might be a little more challenging to keep going. What are you moving towards? So have vision for your life. Have vision for the world. You want to make sure you're doing things that serve the world. Use your gifts and your talents to help make you better and to help make the people around you better. But what men, it says you got to be careful with being a rescuer. Stop trying to save everybody. You cannot help everybody. Number one, half the time, most people do not really want any help. I don't mean to be mean when I say this, but most people really are okay with sitting in their mess. I'm just trying to tell you what I know and what I've seen and what I have lived. I'm not making any, I haven't been there, okay? Most people really don't want to change. They say they want to change, but when people really want to change, they change. Because why? We're all powerful. Just like I said, omnipotence within us. And so if they're not really showing you, you can look at, sometimes we can look at people and say, oh my God, that is such a mess they're in right now. And because we don't really want to fix our own selves, we'll go fix everyone else. Or we have really good hearts. We have a lot of compassion. That is important. But I just sort of feel like just because you can help somebody doesn't mean you should. You know, again, going back to wisdom, are you being guided to assist this person? And if you are, usually it's in a very specific way. And though I have learned to feel moved by someone and I can help them, I also can be very objective. I can see this exactly is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm not doing anything more or less. I'm going to give you a good indication. If you're putting out your kids, if you're putting out your spouse, if you're not getting things done in your life, helping all these people, you need to stop. You need to stop helping everybody and help yourself. Oh, and let them help themselves. There is a inner muscle within us. When we do for our own self, it makes us stronger to do more for our own selves. This is not being selfish. This is about folks need to learn how to take care of themselves. And so when we are saving and rescuing people, it's not helping them. Their inner muscle, as a matter of fact, is getting weaker and weaker. It's atrophying because everyone's helping them, when really they need to help themselves. So this is a time, please, if you are doing too much helping other people, you need to stop and let them help themselves. Just figure out what you're supposed to do and do that. And just know, I mean, folks been messing up forever. Before you were born and after you died. In some kind of way, they survive. The world's going to be okay if we don't help everybody in the world. And you're not a bad person if you say, I'm not going to help everybody. I will help the ones I'm called to help. Because, again, Tahuti, when we start thinking about Orunmila is out of Ifa, West Africa, Nigeria. Orunmila says it's all about destiny. What is your destiny? Do you have good character? Are you doing what you're supposed to do to get towards or to do everything that you were put here on earth to do? Will you be an enlightened and revered ancestor, or will you be the kind of ancestor that nobody wants to say your name because your life was junky? Do you want to live a life unfulfilled? Do you want to die with stuff in you that was supposed to come out of you and make the world better? Or do you want to get it all out so when you pass on, nothing is left undone? Nothing is left within you that should have come out. And I'll share this with you as my personal experience this week. I struggle with being a people pleaser. And so I am 44, still working on this. But I'm just getting to this point. And I'm saying this for whoever needs to hear this. Sometimes what you are called to do is not what people are used to. That is not your problem. You need to do what you are called to do. Many, many famous people who lived long ago were not accepted, acknowledged, or well received within the time that they were alive. But that did not stop them from doing what they were supposed to do. Eventually, the world saw it and said, oh my gosh, this person was great. I was looking at something with my son the other day in a book, and it was talking about Rembrandt, the artist. I'm not an artsy person like that. I just know the name Rembrandt, and he lived a long time ago and did some great art. But what it said was, during this time, his wife had died, and he was grief-stricken with her, and he just decided these pictures that he was painting for people who wanted him to paint, he would paint them the way he wanted to because it was an expression of his grief for his wife. Well, they weren't happy, so he stopped making money. He and his son got kicked out on the street because he couldn't afford to pay his bills. They even took the pictures that he had painted. He was not revered during his time, but eventually he became very famous. And so that's what I'm just learning. I got to do what I got to do. I am not here to make anyone happy. I am here to live my destiny. So if your destiny seems different, so what? Do it, boo. Okay? Let's get busy. If your destiny is one that everyone is loving, good for you. Don't screw it up. Don't let your ego take over. I see so many talented people, and they start getting it messed up what their talent is all about. Do not let your culture trick you either way, because some people's culture steps on them. And some people's culture, mine in particular, takes people's gifts and it gets their ego all confused. Okay? So we just got to do what we got to do towards our destiny. So a message from Yemanya is operate using the giant within you. You have a giant within you. Okay? And that giant is you. You just may not know it. And so you want to contact and connect with the giant within you. When you're feeling weak, like you can't go on, you open yourself and just fall into the giant within you. That giant's arms, hands. The giant will catch you and will assist you with getting towards wherever you're trying to go, because the ego does get weak. And that's why the ego will do so much to compensate or just deal with the problems. That's how addiction comes up, and folks watching too much TV or getting involved with affairs and just doing a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't make any sense. It's not taking us toward our destiny. I don't judge anybody. I actually have so much compassion, because it is not easy sometimes dealing with this part of ourselves. But if we're willing to expand ourselves beyond believing we are just this flesh, there's a giant. This is what Yemanya taught me. There's a giant within. You can just fall into the hands of the giant and allow the giant to lead, guide, and direct you. But just know, there are no saviors like that in our lives. You must do your own work. You must do the work. But when you get tired, don't give up. Open yourself to the giant within you. This is the reading for this week. Today is July 8th, whatever week this is, 2014. But whenever you find this video, just use the wisdom. It's not just for this week, but this is what came forth this week. Take it, use it forever. Thank you so much. If you would like for me to divine on your behalf, just look at the information in the About section of this video. I'll be more than willing to go to the Oracle to see what wisdom you can use to help lead, guide, and direct you on your way in your life. And I wish you an awesome rest of the week. Peace and blessings to you.